Is Nur Safia Dawiyah binti Jamal. My metric number is 069873.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Atikah binti Cik Alias. My metric number is 069770.
My name is Muhammad Danish Najmi bin Muhammad Saiful Izzah. My metric number is 070657.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Izzah Ajmal bin Muhammad Ismail. My metric number is 070538.
My name is Nur Azimah Maisara binti Mat Kasa and my metric number is 071534.
Today, I would like to explain why ethics and professionalism are important for a company like EcoSustain. First, ethics and professionalism can build trust and credibility among the employees, suppliers, customers, and stakeholders. This is crucial to maintain the long-term relationship and trust in order to maintain the company's reputation. This can enhance corporate culture and improve overall performance and innovation. Second, promote a positive work environment to EcoSustain's employees. Ethics and professionalism can encourage the employees to respect each other and work together easily. This can minimize conflicts and increase productivity between employees to make sure the workplace environment is healthy. Next, ensure compliance and legal protection, such as making sure the employees and suppliers of EcoSustain comply with the environmental compliance so that EcoSustain can reduce legal penalties, reputational damage, and ensure sustainable development. This will affect to the company's stability and the opportunities to grow more in the long term. Last but not least, stricter ethical guidelines and enhancing professionalism can boost customer loyalty and satisfaction. Ethics is important to make sure customers are treated fairly, and professionalism makes sure interaction with the customers are handled smoothly. Encourage customers to trust and remain loyal to EcoSustain.
I am going to discuss about the ethical challenges that EcoSustain might have faced. The first ethical issues that EcoSustain Incorporation might have faced is labor conditions. EcoSustain Incorporation must ensure compliance with the ethical labor standards, including fair wages and also a safe working conditions. They have to make sure there are no favoritism and also the wages are being divided equally to all people. Also, they have to make sure the environment is safe enough for everybody to work at. EcoSustain Incorporation also might have a risk of involvement in child exploitation or forced labor. The second issue is the environmental impacts. While the company aims to promote sustainability, it might face trade-off between cost efficiency and also the use of eco-friendly technologies. The company also could get accused of greenwashing. Greenwashing is the situation where people make false claims about the environmental benefits that could harm your company's reputation. The third ethical issue is fair pricing. Eco-friendly solutions can be pricey or expensive sometimes, which can lead to it become not affordable items to most of the clients or end users. The fourth issue is balancing sustainability and profitability. Achieving environmental goals while remaining cost-effective can be quite challenging, especially when the eco-friendly materials or the technologies that are used are quite expensive.
I will explain about the case study example.
In the early 1990s, IKEA faced significant ethical challenges when reports surfaced that some of its suppliers in Pakistan were using child labor to produce rugs. This raised concern among consumers, NGOs, and the media, damaging IKEA's reputation and questioning the company's commitment to ethical sourcing. IKEA has taken action by implementing various measures to overcome the problem, including first is supplier audit. IKEA introduced a series of supplier audit to ensure compliance with ethical standards. The company conducted an announced inspection and worked with independent auditors to verify that suppliers were following its labor policies. Second point is code of conduct. To formalize its commitment, IKEA established a code of conduct for all suppliers. This code prohibits child labor, forced labor, and other unethical practices. The code also emphasizes fair wages, safe working conditions, and respect for human rights. Suppliers were required to sign this code, ensuring they understood this standard. Third point is collaboration with NGOs. IKEA work with NGO and local community to address the root cause of child labor. For example, the company collaborate with organizations that offer education to children who were at risk of being exploited in the workforce. This helped children avoid being forced into labor and provided them with a path to a better future. For the last point is education. IKEA recognized that poverty and lack of education were the primary drivers of child labor. In response, IKEA implemented programs to improve education and economic conditions in the region where its suppliers operated. These include providing financial support for school and initiative aimed at raising awareness about the dangers of child labor. For outcomes, IKEA successfully eliminated child labor in its drug supply chain and improved working conditions for adults. Through supply audit and a clear ethical code, the company increased accountability. IKEA's commitment to social responsibility boosted its brand image and demonstrated that ethical practices could align with profitability, setting a new standard for ethical supply chain management in the retail sector. EcoSustain Inc. can take lessons from this case, such as transparency. Like IKEA, EcoSustain Inc. should prioritize transparency in its supply chain. Regular audits and publicly reporting progress will help with trust with consumer and other stakeholders. For second point is collaboration with suppliers. Instead of severing ties with suppliers who fail to meet ethical standards, EcoSustain Inc. could work with them to improve practices, much like IKEA did. Providing training and resources can lead to sustainable long-term change. For third point is education. EcoSustain Inc. could consider supporting educational initiatives or local development programs in areas where it sources materials, similar to IKEA's effort to address the root causes of unethical practices. For the last point is building strong partnership. Collaborating with NGOs, local communities and other organizations can help EcoSustain Inc. strengthen its ethical practices and ensure positive social impact. By taking proactive long-term action, EcoSustain Inc. could not only improve the ethical standard of its supply chain but also enhance its reputation and establish sustainable business model.
EcoSustain Incorporate is committed to ethical sourcing and sustainable practices. However, to truly solidify this commitment and build stronger relationship with our suppliers and customers, a more robust strategy is needed. Let's go through some of strategies to enhance professionalism with suppliers and customers of our company. First, a clear communication. Establish a dedicated communication channel is to create a central point of contact for suppliers and customers, ensuring consistent and timely communication. This could be a dedicated email address, a web portal, or a customer service hotline. Develop a standardized communication protocol by implementing clear guidelines for communication, including response times, escalation procedures, and documentation protocols. We also can use multiple communication channels. Utilize various channels like email, phone calls, video conferencing, and online platform to cater to diverse stakeholders' preference. And the last one for communication is to train internal teams. Provide comprehensive communication training to all employees who interact with suppliers and customers, emphasizing active listening, clear articulation, and conflict resolution skills. Next is transparency. We can publish a supplier code of conduct, clearly outline ecosystem incorporate ethical expectations for suppliers, covering labor practices, environmental compliance, and human rights. Make this code really accessible on the company website. Conduct regular audits. Implement robust auditing procedures to ensure suppliers adhere to the code of conduct. Publish audit results on the company websites, demonstrating transparency and accountability. Traceability and disclosure. Implement system to trace materials from source to finished product. Provide clear and transparent information about sourcing practices and the ethical sourcing of material in product literature and on the company website. Lastly, engage with stakeholders. This to create opportunities for open dialogue with suppliers and customers. Conduct surveys, hold roundtable discussion, and create feedback mechanism to gather input and address concerns. Regular engagement. Develop a supplier relationship management (SRM) system. By implementing robust SRM system to track supplier performance, identify protection risks, and foster ongoing communication. Conduct regular supplier meetings. By organizing regular meetings with key suppliers to discuss performance, share best practices, and address any emerging issues. Create customer advisory board. Establish advisory board with key customers to gather feedback, receive insights, and build collaborative relationships. Lastly, maintain open communication channels. Encourage proactive communication with customers, addressing concerns promptly, and proactively sharing updates about ecosystem incorporate sustainability initiatives. By implementing those strategies, we can enhance trust and reputation. Transparent and ethical practices build trust with suppliers and customers, enhancing the ecosystem incorporate reputation as a responsible and reliable company. Also, it can improve supplier relationships. Stronger relationship with suppliers improve collaboration, reduce risk, and drive innovation. Also, it can increase customer loyalty. Ethical sourcing and transparent communication resonate with environmentally conscious consumers, increasing customer loyalty and brand advocacy. By improving those, we can reduce operational risks. Proactive risk management and ethical sourcing practices mitigate legal, financial, and reputational risks associated with unethical practices.
I'm going to talk about recommended strategies for ethical supply chain management. So for ecosystem incorporation, first of all, they can implementing a supplier code of conduct. A supplier code of conduct is a document that sets clear ethical and professional standard that suppliers are expected to follow. It is foundational for ensuring alignment between a company and its supplier on key values such as sustainability, human rights, and ethical business practices. Implementation steps: you can start with a draft, a clear, accessible, and enforceable document. Second, you can provide training to supplier on the requirement and expectation. Third is it requires supplier to sign and commit to the code of conduct, embedding it into contractual agreement. So the benefit from this is it sets a baseline for ethical expectation across the supply chain. It reduces risk related to unethical practices such as lawsuit or reputational damage. Last is foster trust with customers and stakeholders who value responsible sourcing. The second one is conducting regular supplier audits. A regular audit ensures that suppliers comply with the agreed upon ethical standard and allow for continuous improvement. These audits can be internal or conducted by third-party organization for an unbiased assessment. Also, there are two types of audit, which is compliance audit and performance audit. So the step is they need to schedule periodic audit, both announced and unannounced, to inspect supplier facilities. Second is collaborate with industry expert or NGO to conduct independent assessment. Last is use audit finding to identify gaps and provide actionable recommendation. So the benefit from this is it provides transparency and accountability within the supply chain, identify non-compliance early, minimizing long-term risk, and the last one is encourages supplier to continuously meet high ethical standards. The last strategy is supplier development programs. Supplier development program focus on building capabilities of supplier to meet ethical standard, which is especially ethical for supplier from regions with limited access to resources or training. So the step is you need to identify key supplier who would benefit from the program based on audit result or risk assessment. Set measurable goals such as reducing environmental impact or improving worker welfare, and provide support to achieve them. Last is foster long-term partnership by rewarding suppliers who demonstrate consistent improvement. So the benefit from this is it strengthen relationship with supplier and build loyalty. It ensures ethical practices are more achievable and sustainable in the long term. The last one is enhance the company reputation for supporting global ethical development.